to Baking with a Purpose. I'm Jamie and I'm super excited for this series. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on who I am, what this is, and why I'm doing it. So, as I said, my name's Jamie. I'm a senior at Seattle University and my major is communication, but more specifically strategic communication. And so this video series came about because I'm in the middle of my capstone project, which is something that every communication student is required to do. And we're supposed to pick something we're passionate about and do kind of just a big project that kind of encompasses what we think is important and make something we're proud of. So I wanted to do something that combined my love of baking with my interest in reproductive health. And so this video series was born. I was thinking about what I wanted to do, and I remembered an Instagram account that I followed a while back called The Sweet Feminist. And Becca, who is the creator and who makes the content in the account, she makes various desserts. She's a baker by trade. And she frosts them or decorates them with different kind of social justice messages. And she'll talk a little bit about herself later. But I wanted to do something like that. But I also knew that with just a few months, I couldn't cover all the important issues that she talks about. So I thought I need to narrow the scope. And so I picked just focusing on reproductive health because obviously as a woman, this is something that is extremely important to me. So I wanted to do what I could to spread awareness of this issue and just really show how important it is to me and to so many other people around the country and even around the world. Also, I really love baking, and so I felt that this would be a great way to kind of like fine-tune some of my skills. With just me and my parents in the house, I usually don't get to make cakes because we never eat everything I make, but I thought this would be a great excuse to learn how to bake cakes, and it really will be. And so this may be something I want to do when I get older, and I thought now's the time to really develop my skills and see what I can do. And so I thought instead of making Instagram posts like The Sweet Feminist, I really wanted more of a long form kind of content style because there was a lot of really important information that I wanted to be sure to include. And sometimes there's limitations with like the amount of pictures you can post and the amount of words you can have in your caption, and I really wanted to be free to like express what I needed to express. So YouTube videos seemed like the perfect solution. To make these videos, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna bake a cake and I'm gonna link the recipes below so you can follow along. And as you're watching me bake the cake, you're gonna be hearing from some of the interviews that I conducted about this topic. And so I interviewed a range of people, some regular women, some men, some female health professionals, and I wanted to just know their views on reproductive health, and it gave a really great assortment of views and a lot of really interesting topics that I think it's important for people to hear about and for me to cover. But obviously, with any project, there are limitations, and so I really think it's important for me to address these in the beginning video so you know what my thought process was going in. So first, I really had a goal of interviewing more health professionals than I was actually able to. And I think right now, with coronavirus and all that craziness going on, doctors weren't obviously available to talk because they were busy trying to adapt their practices and their procedures with the new kind of guidelines that we're facing, especially in Oregon. So I didn't get as many health professionals as I wanted, but I've made up for it with like the perspective of regular people. And second, and probably most important thing that I want to address is my interviewees are mostly white cisgendered people. And that was not intentional, and I was really, really wanting to get a lot more of a wide range of backgrounds and identities, but with the few months that I had, I was really limited to who answered my requests for interviews and who I was able to find, and I just wasn't able to meet that goal. And that's something that I really am, like, I'm really bummed about that because as a result of the one kind of group that I was able to get, my project does represent like one kind of privileged group's view of reproductive health. And so there's a really huge perspective that is left out. And that's not to say that everybody identifies that way that I interviewed, but it is the vast majority, and that's definitely not reflective of society as a whole. And of course, I really want to say that women of color are definitely affected much more by issues in reproductive health, which I'll discuss in some of the videos. And so are non-binary and trans people. And those are perspectives that I wasn't able to get as much as I would have liked. And that's definitely something that I kept in mind while filming. I will keep in mind while filming. And definitely something that I hope that you keep in mind while you're watching is this is what we're hearing, but there's still a whole like unexplored, in this series at least, side of these issues that we won't get to hear. But I will encourage you to do research and hear these points of view, because it's really important that people hear them. And so with that in mind, I want to introduce you to the people I interviewed. So first off, we have Amanda.
I'm 32. Oh gosh, what else? I went to art school. I work from home. I'm disabled and I'm queer.
Next, we have Dr. Heidi Peterson.
I'm Dr. Heidi Peterson, and I'm a naturopathic physician. I've been in practice for 20 years, and women's health is one of my focus and interests. I just retired, but for 20 years, I taught gynecology lab at the naturopathic medical school. So women's health has been an interest of mine from the beginning.
Shannon Keys, and I'm a high-risk labor and delivery nurse.
Okay, and what made you get into that field?
I wanted to go into OB because I like women's health, and I kind of knew I wanted to be a nurse, but then after I had my first child, I just knew that was where I wanted to be.
Samala?
So my name is Samala Coffey. I live in Portland, Oregon. I'm 38 years old, and I had my son Zane, who is going to be turning 18 in about a week. When I was 19 when I got pregnant, and then 20 when I had him, and I don't have contact with the dad anymore.
Robin?
Robin. I am 42 years old. I was born and raised in Oklahoma City. I moved to Portland right before I turned 30, and I moved here to start a family. And I met my husband like 3 months after I moved here, and so that's what I've been doing.
Larissa,
about yourself. Okay. My name's Larissa. I'm 33. I guess like what kind of things?
Just like where you live, what you do, what you like.
I live in Portland. I'm an artist. I like yoga. I like going for walks in parks. I like kitty cats. Things like that, yeah.
Josh?
I'm Josh. Going to be a senior at Arizona State, majoring in sports business.
Wesley?
My name is Wesley. I'm already a senior at ASU, and I'm studying secondary education history.
William?
Yeah, my name's William Sternagel. I am a cisgendered white man. I am identify as homosexual. I'm originally from Oklahoma. I grew up there all of my life until I moved out to Portland about 10 years ago. I was raised in the Methodist church there. Although we were sort of just kind of Easter, Christmas goers. We went fairly often through my childhood, but I definitely was raised in a church community. And then I went to college in Oklahoma City at a Methodist affiliated university, but it was a pretty liberal university. So it was kind of interesting having this kind of Christian education paired with a very liberal school. both sides kind of butted heads sometimes, but overall it was a pretty liberal education. And like I said, I've lived out in Portland for 10 years, and I own a restaurant. I've always worked in the restaurant industry.
And last but not least, Becca, who is the inspiration for this project, and she just inspires me so much, and I am such a huge fan, so I was really thankful that I got to have the chance to sit down and talk to her. And I've mixed in her viewpoints, but I just really want to take the time in this intro video to thank her for letting me borrow so much from her work, and just for doing what she does and educating people every day and letting people have a creative outlet. And yeah, I'm really thankful to her, and I hope after you watch this, if you watch, that you go check out her Instagram at The Sweet Feminist and explore and look around and engage with her, give her a follow, give her a like, and just really listen to what she has to say, because I think she has a great perspective and she's doing a lot of really great work. So here's Becca.
Sure. So I'm Becca Ray Holloway. I'm based in Washington, D.C., and I'm a baker, a self-taught baker, and an artist. And I run an Instagram account called The Sweet Feminist, where I put feminist messages on baked goods, mostly cakes, some pies, some cookies. So yeah, that's who I am. So before I started The Sweet Feminist, I ran a food blog where I wrote recipes, and I'd been doing that for a couple of years. I went to Grinnell College, and I started learning about feminism there. I started learning about feminism from my mom. She's a sociologist, so that was sort of always present in my childhood, and then started learning more about it academically in college. And I decided to combine the two, I guess because I live in Washington, D.C., and it was a really dark time after the 2016 election, across the country and here. And I felt like I needed a way to sort of channel all this energy and anger and frustration and lots of emotions like that into some kind of creative project. So I started brainstorming, and I was like, okay, what do I do anyway? And I made cakes. So I started putting words on cakes. And in the beginning, it was just sort of something that I did for me. And then it sort of grew, and now I see a lot of other people doing it, and it's really great.
So with that, I just want to give a quick overview about what I'm going to be making. So obviously cakes, and the first one we're going to make is vanilla with Russian buttercream frosting, which is condensed milk. The next one's going to be chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. We're going to do red velvet with cheesecake frosting. And then we're going to do chocolate cake with Oreo frosting. And then we're going to try something new, vanilla cake with Jell-O frosting, which is something I've never tried, but I'm super excited about it, and we'll see how it goes. We wrap up to just explain the reason for my title, and baking is pretty obvious, we're gonna make cake, but the purpose for me and the goal of this and what I hope you get out of it is just to be a little bit more aware of all the issues surrounding reproductive health and how that impacts the lives of just everyday people, and a little bit the view of how medical professionals view these issues as people, but also as people who deal with these kinds of issues every day in their career. And so my purpose is just for you to leave more educated, more aware of reproductive rights. And if that doesn't change your opinion, that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to help you get to know yourself a little bit more in terms of reproductive health, and to maybe get a little bit of empathy for women and non-binary people and trans people and men who struggle with this all the time. And that my hope is that you come away knowing more about the issue, that you are inspired to do what you can to help, maybe this cause, maybe another cause you're passionate about, but that anything you do is important if it's something that you believe in. So with that, I'm really excited to get started, and I hope you'll join me with in the next 5 episodes, and I hope you learned something, and thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll see you at the end, and leave a comment if you have any questions or comments. I'm gonna link some resources in the description box, and I'll do that every video, just like general reproductive health care, like FAQs, and if you want to donate, where you can donate, if you want to volunteer, where you can volunteer, and just regular general sources. And yeah, I'm really excited about this, so hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.